Hello, I'm Matt from World of Ukes, and I'm making a video today about how to repair or tighten the jack input on your electro ukulele, or in the case of this one, a second-hand Carla Rumbler U-bass, but basically anything that has a jack input, including electroacoustic guitars for example, can be easily tightened up. Now, it's not quite as easy as I may be suggesting actually, because you can't just tighten it up. If you do, I mean I can feel this one springing back because there are wires connected to the barrel inside here, so if you tighten it up you risk twisting them and perhaps severing the connection. So you do need some basic tools. When I say basic, I'm talking really basic, a bit of wood. So I'm going to do this with a 1/4 inch dowel rod. If you don't have a 1/4 inch dowel rod, you can order some online. I think I spent £3.79. I got 100. So it's if you go to Amazon you can get them, or anyone else, craft suppliers, that sort of thing. If you don't have that or can't be bothered, you can try using a chopstick, which will also work. So we'll get a bit closer up so we can see what I'm talking about. So now we're a bit closer up, we can see what we're talking about. This jack input here is quite loose, and I'm going to get my dowel rod and I'm going to poke it in. So jab that in. So now if you feel you can move it around, and I'm going to take off the outer section, pull that off at the end of the dowel rod and put it aside for later. So now we've got that outer section off. If we look closely at the barrel, there's a little hole going through it. It's quite handy to use that hole to hold it in place, because what you don't want to be doing is twisting this round and round because of those wires inside. So I'm using the handle of a I'm using the I suppose it's the handle. It's a nut file here that I'm using, but maybe to continue the kitchen theme, you might want to use a bamboo skewer, anything you can get through that hole just to hold it in place. Now sometimes with it held in place you can just loosen that nut enough that you'd be able to do it by hand. So I've managed to do that now. You may want to use a spanner. I had one handy, but I'm trying to do it with as few tools as possible so that if you don't have things to hand at home, you can do it the sort of quick and easy way with stuff that you've got hanging around. So that's nearly off. Now I don't want to take it all the way off just yet. I want to put my dowel rod back in, because basically what you don't want to do is let it all fall inside, because it's a bit of a pain to get out. So just for this last section I'm going to take off the nut, so that's coming off the end of the dowel rod, and I'm going to take off this washer. So now we've got the barrel secured with our dowel rod, and we're going to need to push that through so we can get at the apparatus through the sound hole. So while pushing my dowel rod through, you can start to see something appear. Let's get a better angle on that. slightly awkward making a film of this because you don't usually do that. There's no need to video it if you're doing it at home. Alright. So this is our barrel here, and we're going to want to turn that inner retaining nut a few times so that it's going to get tighter to the inside of the ukulele, and then pull that back. We're doing it gently, so you don't want to yank it because you need to get this apparatus out. And now what I'm doing, just to save constantly changing angles, is putting the washer back on the end of my dowel rod. So it's sliding down the end of the dowel rod. And then next, on the end of the dowel rod, I'm putting that retaining nut. I'm just going to tighten this up finger tight for now, just to check I've got it in the right position. Now you might want to tighten that up with a spanner or with a pair of pliers. I'm not going to do that, only because I've got some other repairs I need to do with this, so I'm about to reverse the process when I finish making this video. But next thing, you put that retaining nut, we've got the retaining nut and the washer on, and we're going to put the outer section of our jack input. And now that we've got the inner retaining nut a lot closer to the inside of the body, that is now much tighter. And I'm going to pull that out. And it's pretty secure, a lot better. You can't hear any rattling. So that's done it. Now I'm going to undo that because this one has some connection issues inside, but I just thought while I was working on this one, I would make a video, and I don't usually do it balancing on a chair, but it's just the way the camera angles worked. So I hope you found that useful. I actually did it only with a nut file and a dowel rod, but yeah, bamboo skewer and a chopstick should do it. Thanks a lot.
worldofukes.co.uk worldofukes.co.uk